As you work through the Exploring the Unit Circle lab that you've got, a couple of things I want to point out that might make this a little easier for you. First of all, the first several questions deal with the angle T and the angle opposite T. So if angle T is positive, okay, I just happen to have drawn T so that it ends up in the first quadrant. Angle negative T is the same amount of rotation but in a negative direction. So what do we know about this point on the unit circle? It has an x coordinate and a y coordinate, and it's the cosine of angle T and the sine of angle T. Now the point that corresponds to the measurement for the angle negative T, again, has an x coordinate and a y coordinate, and notice that the y coordinate has to be the opposite because we have to move down y units. The x coordinate is the same. It's going to match the x coordinate for the point in the first quadrant. And this ordered pair is the cosine of t, the cosine of negative t, and the sine of negative t. We can say the same thing no matter where t is. So if angle T is over here, then the angle negative T would be the same amount of rotation but just in the opposite direction. Oops. So the point where the terminal side for angle T intersects the unit circle has coordinates x and y. It's still cosine of t and sine of t. The point where the opposite of t intersects the unit circle has coordinates x and y. Notice that although they are negative numbers based on where they are, the x coordinates have to be the same. The y coordinates are still opposites. All right, the other thing I want to take a look at real quickly is angle T and the angle T plus pi. Anytime you add pi, you're taking your point directly across the unit circle. Pi radians is 180 degrees. So if angle T is the angle that I've marked there, then the angle T plus pi is this angle. So if angle T is in the second quadrant, T plus pi is in the fourth quadrant. If angle T were in the first quadrant somewhere, T plus pi would be directly across that in the second quadrant. Now think about this. Whatever the coordinates are for angle T, since we've gone directly across the circle, notice that our x coordinate for angle T, at least where I've drawn it, that x value has to be a negative number. Well, the x value has to be a positive number for t plus pi. So whatever x is for angle T plus pi has an x coordinate of minus x. Same thing with y. The y coordinate is going to be the opposite of the y coordinate. Let's see. So if you add pi radians, then you're talking about an angle whose terminal side is directly across the circle. If you add 2 pi radians, then of course you're talking about an angle that's coterminal. So if angle T is the angle drawn there, then the angle T plus 2 pi would be that angle. It's going to have exactly the same x and y coordinate because it's coterminal. So those are some hints that may help you as you work on exploring the unit circle.